Space, the filthy frontier. Humans successfully put their first object into space in 1957, the Sputnik satellite. And after 75 years of spacecraft being sent into orbit, it's a lot easier to go for launch, but a lot messier once you're up there. Governments now have to share space with private companies, and without much in the way of regulation, it's starting to get so congested we don't know exactly what's up there anymore. Some estimates say around 5,000 satellites in orbit, with fewer than half actually working. And when a satellite stops functioning, it still keeps orbiting, which is a problem for the useful ones.
Satellites, when they die on these orbital highways, they just keep on going at these very fast speeds. Some of the relative speeds between satellites that are crisscrossing each other is like 15 times the speed of a bullet. So that's pretty gnarly to think about. And yeah, every once in a while, two of these things find each other in space at these very high speeds, collide and break up into very smaller pieces and that sort of stuff. And most of the things that could damage a satellite that's providing a service or a capability that we care about, most of those things are not trackable because they're too small.
Moriba's co-founder of Privateer, which tracks space debris. It aims to collect information from many different origins, like telescopes and radars, physical sensors, even news articles, and turn it into usable data for developers. Imagine a massive machine-readable spreadsheet where all the data is lined up so the column headings make sense. It's one of many companies and space agencies taking part in the Summit for Space Sustainability at London's Science Museum. These are the people hoping to clean up there. And it's harder than you think, because you can't exactly use a vacuum cleaner in a vacuum. One solution is on-orbit servicing, removing old satellites and refueling others. Yes, a robot mechanic and tow truck in space. Another outfit, ClearSpace's concept, shows 4 arms to catch and hug a dead satellite before cruelly pulling it into the atmosphere to burn it up. Sounds complicated? Well, it is rocket science.
This is hard technically, so going up to space and removing a satellite with some claws, robotic arms, some nets is hard to do, right? Because operating a robot from hundreds of miles away is tough to do, but it's also tough politically and economically and with regulations, because there's no real rules that govern how we work in outer space.
Like me and the attendees, you'll have worked out why we want to keep things clean in orbit. We use satellites to check the weather, find our way around, even for financial transactions. And a quick look at NASA's interactive website, Eyes on the Earth, shows there's so much more we can do from space to help with earthbound challenges like climate change.
So what sort of things can be measured from space that we might not know about?
So space data and measurements give us not just beautiful pictures of the Earth, but also information about weather changes, the climate data, population density, and other things that all can be integrated into the solutions that we really need. And here I'm talking about giving farmers, for example, real-time data about when's the best time to plant their harvest and when is the best time to harvest their fields.
So, we depend on space every day. Check. And it needs to be tidied up. Check. So how do we help humans think as one big tribe? I mean, we all share this planet, right?
It's not going to be any one thing. Governments are going to have more regulation. Companies are going to have to engage in shared best practices. Companies are going to have to exchange information. Academia is going to have to continue to study this and give us the data so we can make decisions.
Most interestingly, these solutions come from companies that compete and cooperate with each other at the same time. An incredibly effective business model, sharing data and ideas to accelerate progress for everyone. Because speed is of the essence when it comes to cleaning up after ourselves. Then we can keep those orbital highways open for the next generation and beyond.